So if I don't have sickle cell or you don't have sickle cell, or we don't have there's no sickle in our family, whether it's just a trait or a thing. So we as adults should have A and A, right?
Right.
Remember the genes have to be paired, right? The chromosomes have to be paired, sorry, right? So guess what? You have some changes, some mix up with the proteins along the DNA thing, and you end up having a sickle gene. Okay? So if you have a sickle gene, you can have 2 sickle genes because we have to have a pair.
Yes,
So you can have, and we're going to call that hemoglobin S, right? 1 hemoglobin S and 1 A. Or you can have hemoglobin S and hemoglobin S. The person who has hemoglobin S and S has a full-blown disease. Okay? Those are the people that we're really concerned for, that we talk a lot about, because other people kind of get around life a little easier. The person who has a double sickle cell, one from mommy and one from daddy, right? Because mommy will give you 1 gene and daddy will give you 1.
Mm-hmm.
If mommy is a full-blown sickler, she will have S, 2 S's, right?
Right.
All her 1 gene from her, so at least they will have 1 S. They may get an A from daddy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Is that what we refer to as HBSS?
HBSS is, yes, people who have full-blown.
Okay, all right, yes, okay. Mm-hmm.
So our concerns for that person who gets an S from daddy and an S from mommy,
Mm-hmm.
right? And they have full-blown sickle cell disease. And they're the ones who tend to have challenges in life.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm.
Not that the people with the carrier,
Mm-hmm.
the ones who just have a sickle cell in the adulthood and an adult gene, right? Don't have little problems. They can. But the people who have a lot of health problems are the people who have full-blown disease.
Okay. So I was going to ask about the possibility or the chances of children getting it. And here is what I want to find out from you. So mom has sickle cell. Full-blown sickle cell. Dad doesn't.
She shouldn't have any children. Okay, let's get real. Because you can have complicated pregnancies, and there's a great possibility for not only demise of the death of the fetus, but also for the mother to become very ill and die because of how this thing works. And we'll talk about that later.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Right. So I was asking if So mom has it, and of course she's lucky. She has let's say 3-4 children. What are the chances of all the children getting it, or probably some of them and some not?
If mommy has full disease, and daddy.
No, let's leave daddy out still. Mom alone. Daddy doesn't have it.
Mom can't have baby by herself, but
No. I'm saying if mom has the sickle cell, but dad does not have the sickle cell. What are the chances?
Disease, she will give every child a gene. So what she give everybody a gene? 100% of our children will have a sickle cell gene. At least have the trait.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And having the trait, are there any chances that that individual could probably not develop into a full-blown sickler?
It's very unlikely. You would have some, challenges, but it's very unlikely that you will get fully ill.
Okay.
The sickle people are the people who have the 2 S's.
Right. So the HBSC.
That's a different hemoglobin. That we're not going to take that into consideration. Well, that's just having sickle cell with a different form of another hemoglobin disorder.
Okay. But are there different types of sickle cell disease?
Yeah, because you can have people who have sickle cell full-blown disease, and people who have sickle cell trait, with an ordinary hemoglobin, ordinary adult hemoglobin. And then you have people who have HBSC, HBSC, HBAS, HBAC, right? So you can have other hemoglobin, but we look at sickle cell as one part, one specific.
All right. So we spoke a bit about the cause of it. How do you diagnose? So how does someone know that they have sickle cell?
So luckily for us, in recent years, although we stopped for a while, luckily for us, we have a program where all babies that are born are tested. So it's a screening program. So before you leave the hospital, because we really try to have our children be born in a health facility, they will have this little heel pinprick test, and the blood tested to see if they have any indication of sickle cell. It's sent off to, I think, Martinique. It's a program, it's a regional program. So our children are tested at birth, and so we should know.
Okay.
We have the Sickle Cell Association here in Grenada has had a few, they've had a few programs where they've screened adolescents, because I think the testing started in probably the last 6-7 years. So there's a time when it was done, and then there was a big lapse, and we started back, I think, recent as late last year, right? So there are children who are adolescents who have not been tested.
Okay.
So there have been some screening programs, some opportunities where they've gone to high schools or into communities and tested the adolescents to figure out whether or not they had the sickle.
Okay.
1 in 10 Grenadians actually have sickle, at least trait.
1 in 10.
So,
but that's high. I mean, a country with 100,000 people. Because
one of the other things that predisposes you to having sickle cell is you're having an African heritage.
Oh, so ethnicity does play a role in that.
So, like the thalassemia and the other sickle cell, we have them in different areas of the world. But ethnicity does play a role in sickle cell, and sickle cell in particular is very specific to the Black population.
Okay. So let's talk about some of the complications that go along with, having sickle cells.
Why you want to have a complicated life first?
So we can address it.
Let me explain to you how this works. So because these cells are going to sickle, one of the things is that because of the changes in the protein, apart from the ability of the red cells to move normally because of the clump, they clump. There's a protein that is formed between them that makes them clump. And as a result, apart from being able to penetrate because it's already shaped funny, they can block the arteries. Okay, so you have a deficiency of oxygen beyond that. If you for example go and play football tomorrow, don't, because you haven't exercised for a long time. But no!
I've been exercising every day for the past 3 weeks.
Wow.
and I'm quite proud of that.
I know that. I hope people follow you. Okay, that's a good example.
I do hope so.
So let's say, for example, you went out. Remember that first day you went out and you exercised, and your muscles will hurt.
Oh yes.
But your muscles hurt because there's kind of lack of oxygen, and you have lactic acid buildup. But that lack of oxygen is what causes you to have pain. So sickle tend to have a lot of pain. They have pain in their joints, in their large joints. They have pain in their hands, and all of it comes from this challenge with the movement of oxygen, with the lack of oxygen beyond where these cells tend to clump.
Okay.
All right. So, chest, and the chest. We're going to talk about chest a little after, because the chest is probably one of the craziest challenges we can have with people having sickle cell, because in the chest you have all of these. I want to call them clots. I guess we can, because they are clumping of cells, right? And very little oxygen. It's one thing for which sicklers are admitted to hospital, and often a lot of them die as a result of this chest syndrome, right? What else would they have anyway? If you're not getting oxygen, you're going to be tired, right?
Yes, you will.
The other thing about the sickle cells is that they break down. quickly. They don't last. The normal red blood cell will last you 120 days. Will live for 120 days and break down easily. That doesn't happen with the
with sickle cell.
With the they break up to 10 days. They could be breaking down. So the people with sickle cell have anemia. One of the challenges, right? Because they don't have enough hemoglobin. The cells are breaking and they're not able to keep them together.
Right.
And it breaks down. You have this increase in bilirubin, and people look jaundiced. They look yellow because when the hemoglobin breaks, right? You have this urine. That's one. They have fatigue. They can have dizziness. All the things that come with having changes in the urine concentration. So you might not be able to function to sometimes if you're dehydrated, you'll get very severely concentrated urine and stuff. Your kidneys just loses that kind of ability to do that, right? They also you can if you know what sickle cell look like, you can recognize somebody with sickle cell. Short torsos and very long limbs, because these long bones are where the red blood cells are produced. And what you have is that compensation, the bone trying to grow to produce more and more, but the more it produces, the more they break down. So it's almost like fighting a losing battle. So that feature and then the long elongated skull, right? Those are the features. So they look different. They have developmental problems. Of course, they look smaller and less developed, muscular, etc., than their peers. I don't know about intelligence. I think what happens, a lot of kids miss a lot of, in the past, the kids will miss a lot of school, so they probably be a little behind their peers as far as the level of academic preparation, right? And of course, when you have little oxygen, you have shortness of breath anyway, because you don't have enough cells to carry oxygen around your body and even to the lungs. So you would have shortness of breath. The pain is one of the things that is significant. It comes in episodes. One of the ways of presenting of one of the things that people with sickle cell are required to do is to consume a lot of fluids, and this is really bad weather for you because it's so hot and miserable. They lose a lot. They have to replenish a lot of their fluids. In particular, you can't. If you get dehydrated, you make your cells want to clump a little faster, right? Because the blood will get less fluid, right? So you have to drink a lot of fluid. So the pain is kind of episodic. Some people have, a couple of times where you get a crisis, but there are people who get a dozen and more severe crises per year. And that's just an individual thing, right? And remember, these are people who have SS, right? These are people who have gotten a gene from their mother and from their father, right? We talk about the soul and hand. The bones get damaged. When you do an X-ray of a bone of a sickler, it's a little thinner, it's longer, and like lines across. It's just all those compensatory things and to give the bone a little more possibility of making more red blood cells. Okay. Okay. Sickle cell, of course, because there's just this rapid changes of cells, they're more prone to infections, right? They might get ulcers on their legs. So why would they get ulcers on their legs? Because remember, we have blockages of the arteries. So we're talking about the ankles where you already have very thin circulation, challenges with circulation, you would have ulcers on your leg. You'll have ulcers down there because you don't have enough, you're missing the circulation is severely compromised.
Okay. So it does affect your circulation.
So there's a patient I met. This is a lady who had retired as a school teacher. She was probably like 65. And she came to my office for something totally different. And I said to her, what happened to your foot? And I said, what happened to your ankle? Do you hear an ulcer? She says, every so often, this ulcer comes. But this is a lady who has not had any children. And it is normal that women are tested during pregnancy. That's what they will do for sickle cell. Okay? So she hasn't had any children, so she's never had a sickle test done. I mean, screening for sickle cell wasn't really a thing.
Right.
So I said, why don't we do a test? And at 65, she was diagnosed with sickle cell.
Yes.
Sickle cell trait. She didn't have full-blown disease.
Okay.
Full-blown infested cell. But no, this is probably not going to happen because you'll be diagnosed at birth. That's, I guess, the difference in modern technology and access to more means of screening and treatment and all the rest of it. So this is a disease that will bother children from young, from very, very young. By the time you're 6 months, you'll probably start to show signs of your sickle cell disease, if you're going to have sickle cell disease. Because at first when you're born, you'll have fetal hemoglobin, and that will disappear after a while. Right? By the time you're 6, you'll have all of your adult hemoglobin. Right? And if you're going to have sickle, right, hemoglobin, then you know we're in trouble. Right? We know that we are in trouble if your cells are going to sickle. Right? So we know that children are often given like penicillin to prevent infections, and now they're given the pneumonia vaccine at least annually, so that because you have to really try and contain that chest syndrome. It's called an acute chest syndrome,
yes,
which after a simple little chest cold, right? Or you develop a pneumonia because the whole immune system is challenged because of this disease.
All right, let me just ask you, in terms of prominence, male and female, is it more prominent in one gender or the other?
I don't think so, but I'm not very sure about that. I haven't seen any literature that says, because it's not gender specific, it's just
okay.
What you get. Just you get from your mother. It's not really gender specific. I don't think so.
What about vision loss?
All right, so those are the bigger complications, and like I tell you, everything is going to happen because of those challenges with circulation. So it's not just vision. You'd have challenged vision, yes, because what you'd have is the vessels at the back of your eyes and in other parts of your eyes become clogged by these cells, and the tissue beyond will die. Okay? So you can have vision loss as a result of that. I haven't seen very many people with vision loss, but you can also have kidney challenges. Because for the same, you can have heart challenges. You can have liver challenges, So everything is basically related to you having these cells that clump together and challenges your circulation.
Right. DVT and PE. Deep vein thrombosis and pulmonary embolism.
So a deep vein thrombosis is basically a clot in a big vein, okay?
Okay.
Deep vein, most likely in your leg. You can have it elsewhere, okay? In your calf or your thigh, and it will move up because the vein goes back to your the blood in the veins go back to your lung, right? So that it can get oxygenated again and pass on to the rest of your body. DVT you can. It's rarer. None of it doesn't happen, but it doesn't happen as often. You don't see it a lot in the literature talking about getting DVT, right? Because those are really big vessels. And those are your bigger vessels. The vessels, your vessels in your thigh, your vessels in your feet are big vessels compared to the other little arterial channels that we have, right? A thrombus is a clot that's in one place, right? So if I come and you see, I don't know what's this, I have this swelling here in my calf, blah, blah, blah. I check you, I said, oh, you have a clot. If it's there, it's localized, it's not moving, it's called a thrombus.
Okay.
Right? That's deep vein thrombosis, some big condition, right?
Okay.
But in this case, it could be other reasons for thrombus, okay?
All right.
But embolus is when that thrombus, that clot, that thing, that ball, that whatever it's made of, that will move from, could be fat, that can move from one spot and goes to another organ as happens, we've seen a lot of people, especially women, and men do as well, die of pulmonary embolism because a clot moves from one place up to the and clogs their circulation.
All right. Okay, so Doc, let's take a commercial break. When we come back, I want to talk a bit more about some of these complications and how do we deal with them. That is people who are sicklers. So stay with us, folks. We'll be back with you in just a moment.
It's new, innovative and classy, and a cut above the rest. Your one-stop shop for bathtubs, kitchenette, customized doors and windows, and even a new paint job. We also sell quartz and solid surface countertops. At M&N Hardware, we offer best prices, excellent service, efficiency, and reliability. Visit us at Dusty Highway, Grandin, St. George, or call telephone number 440-6757. M&N Hardware, from foundation to roof. Let's build together.
You're already ill and have no time or energy to walk every which way to access your healthcare needs. So come to Spice Isle Imaging on the Carenage for a one-spot stop for all your health service needs. See our in-house doctor and get your meds from the pharmacy right on location. Digital X-ray, MRI, CT scans, mammography, ultrasound and laboratory services are also available. So for that moment when life makes demands on you, you can make demands on us. Visit us at Spice Isle Imaging, Carenage, St. George's.
At Communal, we are adapting to meet the changing needs of our shareholders and members. Times are changing, and with the changing times comes a whole new way to do business. Our parents may have done their banking a different way. Communal's state-of-the-art online banking and international debit card allows members to do business with great ease. It's like literally having a branch in your very own hands. Need a loan? Apply online from the comfort of your own home anywhere in the world, and your request will be dealt with remotely. Want to transfer between your accounts or another shareholder? No wait time for transactions to update. Voila! Who needs receipts when you can receive them via e-statements on your mobile device and save the environment? Not a Communal member? You can join our family today by applying online. At Communal, we see you working hard to ensure that you save, invest, and grow. Communal, join us today. This will be the best financial decision you have ever made. My name is Hollis Mr. Killamap, and I endorse this message.
Hills and Valley Pharmacy offers both wholesale and retail pharmaceutical and over-the-counter products. We have the most competitive and affordable prices. We are the agents for Vit Plus multivitamin for healthy everyday lifestyle and Sonatogen powder. Hills and Valley Pharmacy supplies the best quality, name brand clinical products such as Rescue Oil, Bio Oil, Neutrogena, Aveeno, and Clarisil. We offer the most convenient opening hours. Our telephone numbers are 435-6904 or 6903. Remember, at Hills and Valley Pharmacy, your health is our business. We care.
Now open, Hills and Valley Medicare Center, your one-stop for medical supplies, massage therapy, physiotherapy, and an in-house physician. At Hills and Valley, your health is our business.
Opio.com.
Sale at all the outlets, hotspot outlets. You're going to go to the Carenage, the Grenville, or the Sutter's hotspot, and you get sales and deals on all items. You can get these on potato, you can get these on saltfish, onion, garlic, mackerel, toilet paper, and we even have the currants and the raisin at $10 per pound, lowest price island-wide. So people just come down or go up or go across, but just make sure and go to hotspots.
Welcome back, folks. And for those of you who probably just joined us, we're talking about sickle cell disease, and Dr. Sonia Nixon is with us this evening. Doc, people who live with sickle cells, can they live a normal life? I mean, we understand that they do have sickle cell, they do have some complications, but can they live a normal life, and what are some of the things they may want to avoid as compared to what they're supposed to do to enjoy a normal life?
So I don't know if having such a debilitating disease you can live a normal life as other people will live. I don't. But there are things you can do. First of all, I think early diagnosis is very important, so parents can know. So if a child has a potential, at least your mom will know, should know, because she should at least, there should be some index of suspicion, right? Because your mother may have tested positive, right? If you're going to have sickle cell, your mother would have tested positive for sickle cell. Definitely, right? Because you'd have had to get a test. She would have to be at least a carrier, or at least a trait, right? In order for you to have the two S's, right? One from her and one from dad. So once a child is diagnosed at birth, that child is going to be followed. There's actually a sickle cell clinic. The Sickle Cell Association of Grenada actually has a sickle cell clinic that they support. Two clinics actually. One in St. George's and one in St. Andrews at Granby Health Center. I can't tell you the exact dates. I know the one is in Georgia on a Thursday, 1 day a month, right? And nurses who volunteer. You know, we're grateful that the nurses who volunteer to ensure that these are taken care of, these children. So you get screened early, and you're followed up. So and there's a lot of education, and so people can understand exactly what is going on, what do I do to mitigate X, Y, Z. Right? And parents are also educated as to how do I avoid my child having complications and what can happen. And like I said, we try to encourage the children have all the vaccines to prevent any disease, because already the immune system are challenged by the fact that they have this deficiency in the hemoglobin. They're unlikely to thrive as well as their peers, because remember, you don't have as much oxygen. You're always anemic. You're tired. You're all the rest of it. Your heart can be overworking because it's really trying to keep you well. Just a lot of things that can happen. So I don't think a person with sickle cell disease can lead a normal life. But if they're informed, they can lead a comfortable life. You get your pneumococcal vaccine every year, and there's other medications like hydroxyurea, which they take on a regular basis, which kind of helps the clumping. There are other things. There are other medications that are being studied that should help. And like they claim that they've had some successful bone marrow transplants, right? Take off there, put it in stuff. There have been some success stories, but not a lot. When you consider, like I said, we have probably here, I don't know, 50 people, but that's a lot of people still. And there are probably people who don't really come forward as much, right? Because the clinic is basically those who have full-blown disease, right? Okay. But there are a lot of people in the world with sickle cell disease, and they require a lot of support. They have to have a clinic to which they can go. They have to understand how the disease goes. You need to know, when does my child need to see the doctor? If my child has a fever, he has a cold, he's having chest pains, he's having problems focusing, his vision is going, right? Especially things that are of sudden onset. I need to take my kid to the doctor. I need to take him, or does my child need, or do I, from, young, from independent, I could be a 22-year-old with sickle cell, I'm responsible for myself. I need to go to the hospital. Normal life. I know that you can try to make it as pleasant as possible.
All right. Generally, people are encouraged to exercise as part of leading a healthy life. Exercise, eat healthy foods, drink a lot of water, avoid the alcohol and the tobacco and stuff like that. as it relates to sicklers, what's the relationship with them and exercising?
Exercise is definitely recommended because you also want to improve their muscle tone, to be able to use better the oxygen that they have, and to get a better sense of well-being, because exercise does afford that. Not excessive exercise. You can't go around like you saying bold, but you're not going to have the energy, because most often, no, seriously, they get challenged, they get pain in their joints, their bones hurt and stuff, so especially the adolescents, they have a lot of bony pain and joint pains all the time. So that there's not a motivation, but you still want them to do, muscle things to increase their tone and that whole sense of well-being, not just be there.
Right. In terms of foods, are there specifics that they should really enjoy and some that they should just probably
Eat.
Stay away from?
But anyway, a lot of green leafy vegetables because it has folic acid and has folate. And it's important because folic acid is one of the mainstays of the support, nutritional support for people with sickle cell. It's very important in cell integrity and all the rest of it. So folic and of course in helping to build the hemoglobin molecule. So folic acid is one of the things they take. And eating green leafy vegetables, pak choy, cabbage, lettuce, kale, those green things, right, tend to have high levels of folate, and that's what. And of course, you eat your meat, you eat you eat your fruit and other vegetables and stuff.
What about the foods with high glucose content?
That's not good. That's not good for anyone.
Right. Okay. No, I just want to get the facts. Yes.
But no, some of the foods that we have high glucose content, right? You just have to be moderate in everything, regardless of who you are. Yeah. And call some moderation. It's so hot. It's 9 o'clock, 9:30 in the night, and it's so very hot that I can't believe it's really humid. So I can imagine somebody who already has challenges, who's prone to sickling, whose blood volume is going up because they're sweating so much. They have to consume a lot more fluids. You're going to ask a question. I'll ask a question after you ask me this question.
Yeah. So other conditions. Well, no. Let me bring it right home, because what is happening now? COVID-19. And
it's funny because
sickle cell.
I was telling before you went on before you called me off. So as with everybody else, the people with sickle cell disease are at a higher risk of contracting, because already the immune system is relatively compromised, and that their lung is one of the areas that is most compromised. And we talk about it right after I tell you about the next speech, when I tell you this. So you really want to protect your sicklers. You want them to stay home. You want them to really practice physical distancing as far as possible from the rest of the community, because they're really very at risk. Remember, they're always really sickly kind of people for the most part. So you really don't want it to come and touch you, because their immune system is already not capable. And if their lungs, a lot of people already have lung damage because of the current challenges with lung disease. You really don't want them to have sickle cell.
Okay.
You don't want them to come in contact with COVID-19. So it's at the bottom of my page. That was the thing. The thing I was going to tell you anyway in February.
All right. Okay. You were about to ask me something before I came with that one.
So I'm going to do like Sophie Petrillo in Golden Girls. Picture this. Early 1900s. A young man takes a boat. A steamer.
Yeah.
Because he comes from a wealthy West Indian family. Landed gentry. I mean, mixed race, but landed. And he takes a boat and he's going up to the US. Right? To go up to, I think he gets off in Massachusetts on the East Coast. And he's going up there. And he gets sick on the boat. Alright? He's relatively young. He's going off to college. He's going off to medical school, to dental school actually, and he gets sick on this. And when he gets to Massachusetts, the couple weeks he spent on a boat. By the time he get there, he already has an ulcer on his leg. Goes there, give him nutrition. He gets better. I think he went up to Chicago to school from there. He has to take the train, right? And he goes off to Chicago. And every so often, he will have this thing. He'll have the chest problems, he'll have other stuff. And his doctor cannot figure out what this is. Because I guess people who went to the medical school in the 1900s, early, I'm talking before, like 1902, 1905, right? Didn't look like me and you. Okay? But he was landed gentry and relatively light-skinned. He would have had very close, probably one parent would have been mostly white, or white. And he goes, eventually he finishes, but this one medical student, was very curious. Medical student working alongside this young man's doctor, was very curious. And in those days, you look at cells, you look at blood cells a lot. We don't do medical students don't do that. You get a microscope and try to figure out what do you see on this blood smear, okay? And this young medical student saw these sickling cells. That young man became the first person that was studied, on which sickle cell was studied. That was where it was discovered as a disease and studied. He's actually buried in the Catholic cemetery in Sotes.
Right.
His name was Walter Noel. Right? And he was a Grenadian who went off to study dentistry. He actually finished dentistry, came back and died relatively early. He died at the age of 32. Right? But, so sickle cell is very important to us because we have patient zero.
Yep.
Right? And there has been a lot of research in the Caribbean, lots and lots and lots of research in the Caribbean about sickle cell because of our African history. And despite us being of mixed race, most of us can identify a great-grandmother, a great-grandfather, a great-great who come from somewhere, whether it's India or Scotland or wherever, okay? Portugal, it doesn't really matter. But the bottom line is that we do have that history. So that we have that pride, we have that thing as a source of pride.
Well, we should probably have a major research clinic in Grenada for sickle cells.
I have no doubt, but you can give us some money for a clinic.
Yeah, I'll do that. As soon as I organize it, I'll do that.
So sickle cell has to be taken very seriously. The very fact that historically our patient was patient zero, was the first person who was recognized as having this disease and from where the research started.
Okay, wonderful. So let's take our final break. When we come back, we're going to open our telephone line and invite our callers to contribute or ask their questions this evening. Stay with us, folks. We'll be back with you in just a moment.
Hills and Valley Pharmacy offers both wholesale and retail pharmaceutical and over-the-counter products. We have the most competitive and affordable prices. We are the agents for Vit Plus multivitamin for healthy everyday lifestyle and Sanatogen powder. Hills and Valley Pharmacy supplies the best quality, name brand clinical products such as Rescue Oil, Bio Oil, Neutrogena, Aveeno, and Clarisil. We offer the most convenient opening hours. Our telephone numbers are 435-6904 or 6903. Remember, at Hills and Valley Pharmacy, your health is our business. We care.
Now open Hills and Valley Medicare Center, your one-stop for medical supplies, massage therapy, physiotherapy, and an in-house physician. At Hills and Valley, your health is our business. The Esplanade Mall, something for everyone. Go on a shopping spree today and experience some magic.
How going on, boy?
Hey, good old things.
Hey, Daisy.
Yeah.
Boy, in line, boy. Your house looking a real good day.
Boy, it's thanks to the hard-working and professional staff at the Housing Authority of Grenada. They handled me real nice. They did my plan, they did the construction, and I didn't even have to worry about a thing. They were there with me every step of the way, supervising the job, asking me about my concerns, giving me feedback as the house took shape. They were there from start to finish, and even put the keys in the palm of my hand. I give them an A++ for customer service.
Oh, it's people from housing bad, boy.
Boy, not bad. Excellent. If you're thinking about constructing your home, why not consult the Housing Authority of Grenada? You could visit them right down in the Sandino complex, or give them a call, 440-1015 or 440-1016. Or check out their website, hag473.com. They go handle you. They go jog your blocks, they go draw your plan, they go tote your materials. Hey man, where you going? The Housing Authority of Grenada is your choice for affordable housing and a stress-free construction experience.
You're already ill and have no time or energy to walk every which way to access your healthcare needs. So come to Spice Isle Imaging on the Carenage for a one-spot stop for all your health service needs. See our in-house doctor and get your meds from the pharmacy right on location. Digital X-ray, MRI, CT scans, mammography, ultrasound and laboratory services are also available. So for that moment when life makes demands on you, you can make demands on us. Visit us at Spice Isle Imaging, Carenage, St. George's.
Welcome back. It's Doctor and Call, and we're talking sickle cell disease. So our telephone line is open. The telephone number 435-2041. So if you have any question that you would like to ask Dr. Nixon, you can give us a call right now. The number again, 435-2041. All right, and when you call, folks, please turn the volume of your radio or television down and listen to us on your telephone. All right, so the number again, 435-2041. Doc, I have a question via WhatsApp, and the person is asking, should baby making be recommended?
But like I said, one of the things we don't do here is well, a lot of us have our children before we're married, but is counseling. We don't figure it out before. Certainly in women who have sickle cell, it's actually not recommended that you get pregnant.
Okay.
Okay? Even in first world countries, because it's just so complicated. Pregnancy on its own makes you have what we call hyperviscosity, so the blood gets a little thicker, right? And so the flowing is slower already. If you have things that are sickling, it can make you have more complications, kidney complication, other peripheral other complications, on in your limbs, your feet get ulcers and stuff. But one of the biggest complications of sickle cell is strokes, and they tend to happen sometimes in young children. So if you have a child who has sickle cell and you realize he's become a little confused, even gets unconscious, might have a seizure, you realize there's weakness on one side, just like having a stroke as a result of high blood pressure, right? So stroke is one of the biggest complications, and of course, it can also be fatal. The other thing that happens a little more frequently and actually happens to a lot of our patients is this what we call the acute stress syndrome. Like I say, you're a little cold, and then you have all of these red blood cells that just go into your lung, and you have what we call sequestration, like capturing. They kind of get catch and jailed and incarcerated, right? All this in your lungs. So your lung, kind of how COVID situation works with all the challenges in your lung, where these red blood cells are all there. And if you have all these red blood cells all over your lung, it's kind of unlikely that you have good exchange. And a lot of people die. That's probably one of the most common ways of death in people with sickle cell. And it happens in our young adolescents and our young adults. Most sicklers don't live, most people with sickle cell disease, I shouldn't call them sicklers, most people with sickle cell disease are not going to live to be 70 and 80. Certainly not. Because their body has just so many challenges to face. Late 40s, and females might live a little longer than males, despite the fact that females will have periods and other stuff. But the females tend to live outdo the males. So those are challenges. Have a baby? No. No.
Not at all. Okay.
And one of the things I was talking to one of my colleagues tonight, we really have to push for families, people going to get married, to do, because there's so much. The more kids we have, the more likely that somebody has it, right? And we need to do premarital counseling, and premarital counseling does include doing certain tests, like for hemophilia, like for sickle cell, those kind of stuff. So we need to figure out. I might want to marry you, but we need to understand that we're not having children because of the challenge.
Someone is asking as well, if let's say you have a woman that she's a sickler, and she has a child, and of course we going on the basis that it is not recommended, but nevertheless it happens. And it continues to happen. 1, 2, 3, 4. Can the doctor by him or herself, let's say, take an action and prevent pregnancy in that individual?
The conversation might have been there already, but seriously, no, I don't think. I think our laws disallow a doctor taking that kind of decision.
Okay.
You can recommend highly, but I don't think we can just sterilize people. We can recommend highly that they avoid becoming pregnant, and make recommendations as to what they would be, useful depending on the person's age and what they would tolerate. But so one of the other things that our sicklers require is pain medication every so often, right? And there's medication that's recommended. The people who take hydroxyurea regularly and it's made available for the people with sickle cell, because it decreases the challenge of clumping of the cells, means that they have less frequent and less serious episodes of pain, right? However, they have a greater risk for getting other infections. That's just one of the side effects, that it increases your chances for getting infections. And the other thing, in taking, you have to be very careful what you take for pain, because taking the non-steroidal agents like ibuprofen, naproxen, and all of those can actually make you have breakdown of your cells. So you have to be very careful.
Okay.
The doctor recommends you can take for pain, Panadol. And sometimes you just need to go to the hospital and get injectable medications and fluids in your vein, because usually it has a very intimate relationship with being dehydrated. There was one thing else I wanted to say that I don't remember now, but let's continue talking till we come back.
Right.
Gallstones. Gallstones is one of the medications, because remember, you have different kind of gallstones, okay? So when the hemoglobin breaks down, it produces bilirubin, that yellow pigmentation. But excess of bilirubin can also make you have, and bilirubin is kind of metabolized in the liver and stuff. Excess of bilirubin can make you have gallstones.
Okay.
So that's another challenge you may have, and it can happen relatively early.
Okay. So we have a call on the line. Let's go to our telephone and see who's with us. Doctor and call, good evening. Well, we lost that call. The telephone number 435-2041. You can call with your questions, or if you would like to contribute or share something with us, that's the number you can call, 435-2041. 1. All right, that's the number to call. Right, Doc.
So let's
Uh-huh.
talk about the Sickle Association because they're really a support group that offers support for people with sickle cell disease. They've had camps for the kids in the summer, helping people to get their pneumococcal vaccines, giving directions as to what to do, participate in international conferences so we can get a little more knowledge, but really create a lot of support for people. And because the nurses who have worked with a lot of the kids, one of the nurses in particular, she knows. There's a clinic in St. George's, and like I said, one in Granborough. The Granborough one just recently started in the last several months, but the clinic in St. George's has been going for a while. I really want to encourage people, if you know, there's been sickle cell in your family, test your children. The truth is you might already know because your child might be sick, but you can always test your adolescents. I mean, you need to test our boys because boys are not going to be, if they're not tested, they probably will never know because girls would know when they're going to have the baby, you're going to check. But we need to know whether our men have sickle cell or not because they'll be the other half of that child. And we need to be able to say that, he must even say, look, I have sickle cell trait. So if you test, we have to make up our mind that our child can have the disease.
Okay. Let's go to the telephone again. Let's see if we can get through. Doctor and call, good evening.
Good night, Godfrey.
Yes, good evening. Go ahead, please.
I have a friend that always complains she has sickle cell. And she always says she just feel hot, and always have hot flashes. I don't know. She want to find out if ever is that just cause that hard pain on her. She always have pain, always complaining, pain with the sickle cell thing. And then again, when she drinks, she like to drink green tea and ginger tea, and she complain about the knee getting stiff and tight. And she does have a lot of pain, so I like to know what really caused it. But really is the heat, the hot, feeling hot.
Okay.
How old is she?
No, I think the caller left.
So it would be good to know her age because people with a certain age would feel very hot, okay? Because they're going through menopause. And this lady may just have sickle cell trait. Because I think he sounds like a big man. She may have sickle cell trait. He says you drink a lot of tea, that will make you feel hot. So I really don't know. That it would be good to get a couple of questions in there. But like we said, the pain is one of the things that even the people who just have the trait sometimes also have a lot of pain because they too will have some level of clumping. Not as intensely as people who have foot-and-mouth disease, but they will. So maybe that's just what's happening, right? And then if it comes with age, and depends on the age, you can also have pain related to age.
Okay, let's get back to a telephone. Doctor and call, good evening. Hello? Doctor and call, good evening. Okay, I'm not sure what's happening there. All right, 435-2041. Yeah, Doctor.
We could have been like AT&T and Sprint and everybody who went missing yesterday in the U.S. So we give thanks at least you still have.
Yeah, let's try again and see who's there with us. Doctor and call, good evening.
Yeah, good night.
Yes, go ahead, please, caller.
Yes, thanks for having me on the line, but then with the painkiller, what am I saying? I'm going wrong. When I feel in pain, I go in pharmacy, I get painkiller, and sometimes I can't walk, and it'll walk very well. So who feel in pain, go and get some painkiller. So back to you in St. George's.
Tell them not to go. You turn them off?
Yeah, he says. In fact, someone also sent another question. If not ibuprofen, what? For the pain? Tylenol.
Mm-hmm. There are other medications that are not NSAIDs that you can take. That has to be prescription anyway. And if the pain becomes unbearable, you have to go and go to the hospital. Go to the doctor.
Okay. Let's go back to our telephone. Doctor and call, good evening. Hello,
good evening. How are you?
Very good. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, what causes sickle cell and how it could be cured? Thank you.
Thank you, caller.
So I think our friend might have missed the beginning. Sickle cell is a disease that is passed on genetically from your parents. your mother and your father may have the gene for sickle cell and would give it to you. And that's what causes sickle cell. And up to now, we don't really have any cure. There have been 1 or 2 people that they have done bone marrow transplant, so your body actually produces new cell from the new marrow that you get. But really, there is no real cure. So that's why we have to figure out how we're going to live with it.
Okay. Doc, women who have sicklers, can it also result in, let's say, for example, irregular menstrual cycles and menstrual pain and stuff like that?
Well, the truth is that people who have sickle cell have delayed development, so they might have periods later, okay? But they can have a lot of cramps. They can have more cramps than their peers. But I tell you, people who take hydroxyurea kind of don't have so much clumping, so we see that part of the whole clinical picture a little more contained, right?
Okay.
Yeah, but they can have cramps, and the clumping will cause you to have pain.
Okay, let's go back to our telephone. Dr. and call. Good evening.
Good evening.
Yes, go ahead, please, and can you speak a little louder? Thank you.
Hello?
Go ahead, please, caller.
I would like to know if sickle cell is an inheritance, if you could inherit it from family.
Okay, thank you very much. Doc, some of the things we spoke of earlier, whether or not it's inherited from family.
That family must be your mother or your father. That's who you get it from. If the people who say their parents don't have sickle cell when they've tested, then that they're not your parents. It has to be from you. It's inherited directly from your parents. So if you know somebody in your family who has sickle cell, it would make sense to test.
Okay. Yes, indeed. Let's go back to the telephone. Dr. and call, good evening. Hello?
Yes, good evening.
Yes, good evening, caller. Go ahead, please.
Yes, I just simply need to say that, first of all, I missed some of your program, doctor, but I still would like to ask that question. Someone having a trace, sometimes you hear the expression sickle trace. Can it develop later on into full-blown sickle just by itself like that? And secondly, what is the relationship in terms of someone who is a sickler, if I should say so, and smoking, that habit of smoking? What the health risk, if it's greater otherwise? Thank you very much.
Thank you, caller. Thanks a lot.
So you really did miss the first part, because if you get only one gene from your mother or your father for sickle cell, you'll have a trait. If you get one from either of them, then you have the full-blown disease. You have to have sickle. Okay? So the sicklers are the ones who really get very, very sick. The traits are the ones who will have a little pain now and then. They get a little sick, but certainly not what the people with the trait with the full-blown disease have. Smoking is bad for everybody, and I'm going to say for the 90th time, cigarette kills 50% of the people who use it. 50% of the people who use tobacco, what does it do? Tobacco actually hardens your arteries and sometimes make them constrict. If you already have sickled cells, these little hardened, very fragile cells that really can't move very much, that clump already in blood vessels, if you narrow or make that blood vessel less pliable, let's give it less leeway, you're going to have more challenges. You run the risk for getting strokes, you run the risk for getting heart attacks, you run the risk of closing your kidneys down, you run the risk of blindness, you run the risk for losing your limbs, you run the risk for long chest infections, you run the risk for all the other things that sickle cell can cause.
Okay. Doc, the hydroxyurea that we spoke about, should it be taken every day or can it be administered every day for sicklers?
I think it's every day, yeah.
Every day. Okay. All right, let's go back to our telephone again. Dr. and caller, good evening. Hello. Good evening, caller. Okay. Callers, you need to listen to us on your telephone. Don't try and listen to us on your radio, television. Listen to us on your telephone. Let's try again. Dr. and Call, good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening. Go ahead, please.
Yes. Is the situation strictly on sickle cells, or could you ask something else?
Doc?
No. Go ahead.
Yes, Doc. I have a little concern. The on a whole, who are at school age, who have been home with their parents during the COVID situation. Now, I'm worried that they are home mingling with their family and friends at home, and then they will have to be returned to school. Is that posing a danger? Because what I'm saying is that children doesn't understand social distancing. So would that pose a problem for spreading? Thank you very much.
Thank you, caller.
Thanks.
That's an interesting question. And even before we spread COVID among our children, and we do understand that our children are very social beings. They don't know what it is to stay unless you come from societies where children just stay by themselves. Children require very stimulating social environments, and that's why they do very well when they're in school with one another. They play up and down. We see who have challenges with learning, who have challenges with the normal socialization and stuff. Your question comes at a very good point, because I think we would slowly like to see our children go back to school. How we teach our children not to be so intimate with their peers is going to be a big challenge, and I understand your concern. I don't think anybody has a problem, because I think this is the biggest argument internationally today. How are we going to get our children to do what is required to remain distant socially when they go back to school? Because they still have to have 6 feet in all directions around themselves. I don't know how we're going to do that. What I know I'm concerned for, though, in the interim, is also our children's social and emotional well-being after being sequestered for so long. I've been teasing my friends who have children and grandchildren and ask them, so what were your children? I haven't seen any children in Grenada. Have you guys been eating the children? Because our children have really been asked to stay inside. And for the most part, especially the children in the urban areas and the suburban areas, they have really stayed inside. Country children have a little more leeway. But we're going to have to teach our children and start preparing our children for going back into a social environment. Whether they want to wear masks, where we're going to explain to them why it is important that they do this, and children will learn if we teach them. But I'm really concerned for their social and emotional well-being currently.
Mm-hmm. Yes, indeed. Okay, it is 8 minutes under the hour of 10 o'clock. The telephone number 435-2041. And we've been talking quite a bit about sickle cells. Let's go back to our telephone. Dr. and Call, good evening. Yes, good evening, caller. Go ahead.
Yeah. My suggestion now, I know 2 women that got sickle cells. But what I'm saying, how I'm looking at them, I just wanted to know if sickle cell shows as wrinkled skin. Is wrinkled skin?
Yes, go ahead, caller.
Yeah, I know two ladies that got sickle cells. Mm-hmm. But I look at them, and when I look at them now, I saw their hand is very looking wrinkled. So I asked him if sickle cells could show as wrinkled skin.
Okay, thank you very much. Mm-hmm.
Thank you, sir. I think sickle cell will show as almost anything that has some nutritional deficiency. Remember, we have to make sure that people's nutrition is good, and that's not necessarily so in people who have sickle cell. And then, of course, because they don't have a lot of hemoglobin and their red blood cells have to carry food around as well, they don't get good nutrition. So the skin will look older, and there's less oxygen. If you stop smoke, I have a friend in another country who in the last 40 days has discontinued smoking. I'm going to talk about smoking. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry. And smoking has a similar kind of thing to cigarette because, like I said, it hardens your arteries and disallows the distribution of oxygen in your body. And I advised her to take pictures of her face. And she looks totally different. One, there's more oxygen going to her face because she's not smoking, her skin doesn't look dry. She's using oxygen better. She's been jogging 5 kilometers a day, which she couldn't do before, right? And I seriously tell you that if you once you have a disease that doesn't allow for your nutrition or your nutrients in your body, or the nutrients that you consume, that you take in, and for oxygen to be should more water because they just could be probably dehydrated.
Okay, let's go back to our telephone. Doctor and call, good evening. Hello?
Hello?
Yes, good evening. Caller, go ahead, please.
Yes. What's the difference between sickle cell? Hello?
Yes, we're here. Go ahead.
What's the difference between sickle cell trait and SC?
So is another kind of hemoglobin. There's hemoglobin C. We don't see it a lot in our environment, but it is here. And like I told you, the S, right? They're all hemoglobin disorders. The S is very common. The sickling one is very, very common in the black population. The C happens in other populations, but among ourselves, we have seen it. And they can come together. They can appear. One person could have SC actually, or they can have AC. So it's just another hemoglobin deformation, another genetic challenge.
All right. Okay, Doc, we've spoken quite a bit about the sickle cell, the complications and all of that. Is there any known cure for that condition?
And like I said before, we don't really know any cure unless they've had a lot of experimental things. There was a girl, I think in Canada recently, and she may have had bone marrow transplant. And there's some medications that probably will prevent the sickling. There are things that are constantly being. There's other things like what we call the biologicals that are working to prevent the rapid breakdown of the cells. So there are a lot of medications on that are being, researched currently, but I would like to say no. More categorically than not, because even if there is 1 or 2 people and there's 7 billion of us, in the interim we got to prevent by doing screening, making sure that if I'm going to have a kid with you, I should know what are the chances you and I are going to have a baby. I'm serious. People need to figure out what are the diseases that exist in families and testing. So we probably need to wait to have our children until we mature to deal with it at that level, and to have our children tested early so we can give them the support they require to avoid the complications. And those of us who already know that we have sickle cell, we really just need to be aware and to tell our partners, hey, if I get pregnant or if you get pregnant, I just want you to know that I have sickle cell and we should get tested. That's it. And go to your clinic, go to your doctor. Even if you have sickle cell trait, go to your doctor. Make sure your nutrition status is good. Teach your children, especially, support them. Make sure they have good nutrition, a lot of green leafy vegetables, a lot of fluids, a lot of water, because dehydration is your worst enemy. I remember working in the ER in a hospital, and they would come in on a day like today, when it's really, really, like today was, really very hot, and people are out there and they get dehydrated easily, and put up some bags of fluids and you give them some pain, and they get up the next morning and they go home like nothing happened. Rehydrate. Hydroxyurea did not exist when I was a young physician, certainly not in where I worked. And now it's there, and that's an option for parents. Make sure that your children have all their vaccines, and of course that they get in their pneumonia vaccines every year. And that will give us, and we're living longer. People with Down syndrome used to die by 30. I know people with Down syndrome who are over 60. So, as science improves and as knowledge improves and becomes more available and we know better, we can make the changes that will make sure that we ensure that we live healthy lives, and we can make the choices to decide whether or not I'm going to have a child who has a great risk, who's at a great risk for sickle cell disease or not.
Okay.
Children,
right.
Children not yet, taking them to the clinics, or who don't know about Sickle Cell Association. It's down on Kirani James at the Green's Garage building at the connection, and that's where the support group meets, and you can call and and get some information at the connection as to how you can proceed if you need support to get material to read, just to ask questions if there's a camp. We'd like more parents to send their children to camp when social distancing is no longer a challenge to us. So that's where we are.
Right, and Doc, that's all the time we have for this evening. But any parting words you would like to leave with our audience as it relates to SCD?
Yes, and it's one of our realities. And like you say, 10% of our population will test positive just for sickle cell. Not necessarily for the disease, but there are a significant population that compares to other Black populations with sickle cell disease, full-blown sickle cell disease. Let's learn about it. This is just part of our heritage. And I think the greatest part of our heritage is that research began with a Grenadian. We need to honor that and ensure that we are not falling by the wayside in relation to how we take care of ourselves and our sickle population. And that we do not, we tend to, a child will look funny, a child with sickle cell will look different, a child with sickle cell would look different, an adolescent in particular would look different from his friends. He'd be less active, he's going to look different. He's skinny, he probably has ulcer. What they need, probably has a lot of bone injury from all this, deaths of parts of the bone and stuff. Guess what? What they need is support. And parents who don't understand it should really try and seek some support. It's just part of what we are. And like I said, test, find out, ask your gentleman, if I have a baby, your family have sickle cell, what's in your family?
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, thank you very much again, Dr. Nixon, for taking the time off to be here with us on the program and to share, information to our listeners out there. We thank you guys as well for your questions and, of course, your contribution. We do appreciate them. Doc, Sunday, Father's Day. Yes, indeed. Well, thank you. Thank you very much.
But to all the fathers out there, good fathers, bad fathers, there's always a chance to change. We need our fathers to lead our country. We still have a country where men are the ones who are the economic power.
Really?
Even though us work hard.
Right. Oh, yes, indeed. Thank you. Thank you indeed. And maybe we might want to encourage fathers. Give themselves a gift for this Father's Day. Visit your physician. Go do a checkup. Guys have this mature thing about them. I'm all right. I'm okay. You having pain, but I'm okay. I'm all right. There's nothing wrong in visiting your physician and telling your doctor, Doc, my waist is hurting. I can't walk as I would like to. Visit your physician. You just might be...
For your children.
Yes, indeed. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So thanks again, Doc. All the best and do have a good night. And I will be talking again very soon.
Really?
Yes, we will. Tomorrow, please God.
Have a good night.
All the best. Yes, indeed. Thank you, folks. That's our program for this evening. Thank you again. Thank you. And of course, don't forget, tomorrow I'll be back. It's Wednesday, and we have our Wednesday edition of Release It. So do join us. Alan will be here with me, and we have a lot to talk about. There's a lot of sweetness taking place. So we had to talk about the sweetness. I'm seeing 2 doses of sweetness banding around the place. So we have to talk about that tomorrow evening. So be sure to join us. Have yourself a good night. Bye-bye.
Drug abuse, cancer,
measles, diabetes, AIDS, cancer,